Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to plunge into the sources you've shared and really pull out the most compelling insights. Today, we're embarking on quite a journey, I think, into a really foundational text. Jon Kabat-Zinn's Wherever You Go, There You Are. You've given us a great set of materials, all sort of circling around these big themes, right? Mindfulness, presence, self-discovery. And our mission really for this deep dive is to boil that down, to get to the most important nuggets of knowledge. We want to help you not just get your head around mindfulness, but also, maybe see how you could genuinely weave it into your own life. What's really compelling about Kabat-Zinn's approach, I find, is that it isn't rigid. It's not dogma.
No, not at all. It's much more of a gentle guide, isn't it? But incredibly powerful.
Exactly. And, it's fascinating how things like audiobooks make this kind of exploration so much more accessible now. Thinking about platforms like Audible. I mean, imagine getting a guide like this, maybe with a free first month offer or something. It just removes that initial barrier.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to start.
It really does. And what's truly illuminating about Kabat-Zinn himself, about his approach, is its radical simplicity. It's quite profound, actually. He's not really presenting mindfulness as some new skill you have to learn from scratch. It's more like uncovering something that's already within you, an inherent capacity, really, just waiting to be noticed and maybe cultivated moment by moment. And in our world today, which feels increasingly complex, often just overwhelming, this kind of work feels more vital than ever because it pushes back against that constant pressure, that feeling that we need to do more just to be more. Instead, it invites us to just slow down, to observe things with real attention, and through that maybe live with a greater, more grounded awareness. It's almost like remembering what it means to be fully human.
That's a really powerful way to frame it right from the start. And it leads us straight into, I think, the core idea of the book, being where you are. Kabat-Zinn just lays out this simple truth, though sometimes it feels deeply uncomfortable, doesn't it? That no matter where you go, well, you bring yourself along.
Always. Your mind, your habits.
Your patterns, your whole inner world, it's all packed in your bags, essentially.
Exactly. And it's such a common human thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That impulse to think, oh, if only I could change my job or move to a new city or...
Find the right relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I'd finally find peace or escape whatever discomfort we're feeling. We end up chasing happiness in all these external places, trying to outrun ourselves in a way.
But you can't really.
You really can't. And if we connect this to, well, the bigger picture of how our minds work, this desire to escape is often just a deep resistance to what is.
Yeah.
Genuine peace, real balance. It's not usually found by running away or hoping for some perfect future state. It tends to emerge when we stop running, when we actually turn inward and start paying attention to this present moment just as it unfolds. And crucially, without judging it. So mindfulness, in this context, it's a conscious choice. It's deliberate to be fully awake to this moment, right here, right now. And, it's really important to clarify, this isn't about emptying your mind.
Right, not trying to achieve some blank state.
Exactly, or becoming some sort of perfect monk detached from everything. It's much more about acknowledging the full spectrum of what's here. Your breath, your thoughts, even the difficult ones, your body sensations, your surroundings, just acknowledging it all with a kind of open acceptance instead of that habitual struggle, that resistance.
That difference between acceptance and struggle feels absolutely key. But for so many of us, especially living in this hyper-connected, always-on world, the idea of truly being here can feel almost, impossible sometimes.
Which brings us right to that challenge. Slowing down in a fast-paced world. We all feel it, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
At relentless speed, the constant buzz of distractions, the pull towards multitasking.
Always juggling.
Yeah. And it leaves you feeling perpetually behind, like you're constantly trying to catch up, but the finish line just keeps moving. What are we actually missing when we live like that? Well, Kabat-Zinn shows us the cost is quite profound. This constant urgency, this distraction, it effectively blinds us to the incredible richness of just ordinary moments. And those ordinary moments, they make up most of our lives, right?
They really do.
When we're always planning the next thing or maybe stuck rehashing something that already happened, we're just absent, functionally absent from the only moment we ever actually have, which is now. Think about those really simple sensory things we miss, like the subtle sound of wind, maybe, or the warmth of the sun on your skin.
The taste of your coffee.
Exactly. Or even just the feeling of your own breath. So simple, so grounding. These aren't just minor details, they're the actual fabric of our lives. But they just pass us by unnoticed because our attention is always somewhere else.
It feels like a powerful invitation, then, to reclaim those moments. And what I really appreciate about the sources here is how practical they are, how relatable. It's not about grand, sweeping changes necessarily.
No, it's often the small things.
Right. Like washing the dishes with your full attention.
Yeah.
Really feeling the warm water, noticing the soap bubbles instead of mentally running through your emails. Or drinking your morning coffee, actually tasting it rather than scrolling through your phone on autopilot.
Mm-mm.
It highlights how these small shifts don't just slow you down. They can actually transform these mundane routines, the ones we usually ignore, into something, well, mindful, rituals even, imbuing them with presence, maybe even a little joy.
And this often brings up an important question for people, They hear slow down and they think,
I can't afford to slow down. I'll fall behind.
precisely. Is slowing down the same as being less productive or abandoning responsibilities? But Kabat-Zinn would argue it's actually quite the opposite. It's not about stepping away from your life. It's about stepping into it more fully, with heightened awareness. When you're truly present, your attention isn't scattered, it's focused. Your decisions might be more considered, your engagement deeper.
So you actually become more effective.
In many ways, yes, more present in whatever you're doing, because you're not mentally juggling 10 other things. It's shifting from just frantic doing to more purposeful being.
Okay, so if we understand the why, how do we actually start? How do we practice this? Which brings us to the practice of awareness. Starting small, building consistency, and the power of breath. Because mindfulness isn't just an idea you think about, is it?
Not at all. It's something you actively practice.
And the sources really emphasize Kabat-Zinn's encouragement here to start incredibly small. Like even just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute.
Pausing, breathing, noticing what's here. That feels doable, even when you feel completely overwhelmed.
It absolutely is. And the real key, like with anything meaningful, really is consistency. You can think of it like physical fitness maybe. You don't get strong from one workout.
Right, you have to keep showing up.
Exactly. It's the regular, sustained effort over time. And it's similar for mental clarity, for presence. It comes from consistently, gently bringing yourself back to the present moment again and again. And this consistency, it's not just about repetition for its own sake. It actually helps retrain your brain a bit, shifts those neural pathways over time. So gradually you start to notice things like stress or anger or worry arising within you, but without being completely swept away by them.
So you get a little space.
You get that precious little space between the feeling or the thought and your reaction to it.
And within this practice, the breath. It seems to come up again and again as central. It feels like the most immediate, accessible anchor we have.
Yeah.
How does Kabat-Zinn talk about its importance?
He often describes it as this vital bridge connecting the body and the mind. It's this constant, ever-present anchor that's available to us literally anytime, anywhere, no matter what's going on externally. And the practice isn't about controlling your breath, trying to breathe in some special way.
No right way to breathe for this.
Not for this basic awareness, no. It's more about simply observing it, just noticing the physical sensations, the rise and fall of your chest or belly, the feeling of air at the nostrils, that slight expansion and contraction. It's just a neutral point of focus. It's always there. And the simple act of observing, just noticing the breath as it is, it naturally tends to calm the nervous system. And it helps bring that wandering mind back home, back to the present.
That's so powerful because the mind will wander. That's just what minds do, right?
Their nature.
So the breath becomes this steady, available reminder to gently and importantly, without judging yourself for wandering, just return, come back to right now. And by doing that consistently, we're not just practicing in the abstract, we're actively building internal resilience. We're fostering calm, cultivating real clarity, moment by moment by moment.
Okay, so as we deepen this practice, we inevitably bump up against something else. One of the most liberating aspects, perhaps, but also maybe one of the trickiest. Letting go of judgment and living with acceptance. Our minds are constantly evaluating, aren't they? Labeling everything. Good, bad, boring, exciting, right, wrong.
Constantly. It's like a running commentary.
And this relentless labeling, it often creates so much internal resistance, doesn't it? Resistance to events, resistance even to our own feeling. That's exactly right. And that's where so much of our, suffering comes from, our struggles. When we decide something is bad or unpleasant, our instant reaction is usually to push it away, to fight it, try to change it. This labeling creates this whole narrative of resistance. And the resistance itself becomes stressful, causes turmoil. So the really liberating idea Kabat-Zinn offers is, what if we could just allow experiences to be what they are without immediately slapping a judgment on them?
How does that work in practice, like with difficult emotions?
Well, say you're feeling anxious. Instead of getting caught in, oh no, anxiety, this is awful, I shouldn't feel this way. which just adds layers of struggle. You could simply acknowledge it. Ah, here is anxiety. You just note it. Create a little space to observe it. Maybe feel where it is in your body.
Without piling on the judgment about having the feeling.
Exactly. Or if it's joy you're feeling, you notice it, you savor it, but maybe without desperately clinging to it, knowing that feelings come and go. This open attitude. It's not about being passive or resigned. It's about acknowledging reality, just as it is right now. There's that powerful phrasing, something like, okay, this is here right now. I might not like it, but I can face it.
And from that place,
Yeah.
that more grounded place of acceptance, acknowledging reality without that extra layer of judgment,
Yeah.
it seems like you create this remarkable space.
Yes, a space for wisdom.
Right. So you can respond wisely, intentionally to whatever life throws at you, rather than just reacting impulsively out of that discomfort or fear.
It opens the door to much more meaningful and often more effective action.
This leads us into another idea that can feel, well, really counterintuitive in our culture. This concept of non-doing and being. The counterintuitive path. I mean, we live in a world obsessed with productivity, right? With results, achievements. So what on earth is non-doing?
Yeah, it sounds strange, doesn't it? It's a fascinating paradox. And non-doing is often misunderstood. People think it means laziness or just stopping everything, being idle.
Right. Checking out.
But Kabat-Zinn frames it very differently. He talks about it as the profound art of simply being. It's about consciously giving yourself permission to exist without always needing to be striving, fixing, achieving, producing, proving something. Our whole society wires us for constant doing. And that pressure, it can lead straight to burnout, right? Or that feeling of never being good enough. We get disconnected from our inner resources. So non-doing is actually a radical act. It's stepping out of that relentless cycle, even for brief periods. It's creating space just for presence, for experiencing the moment without an agenda.
Okay, so what does that actually look like for someone, caught up in the demands of work and family and just life? How do you integrate non-doing without feeling like you're, well, slacking off or being irresponsible?
It's definitely a balance, a crucial one. Non-doing isn't about ditching your responsibilities. It's more about recognizing that often our best insights, our most creative ideas, even our deepest sense of peace, they don't always come from frantic effort. They often arise in those pauses, those moments where we allow ourselves to simply be. Our minds get a chance to integrate, to process, maybe discover new connections.
So it's not emptiness. It's actually fertile ground.
Exactly. It allows us to reconnect with the simple, profound fact of just being alive, rather than only being defined by what we do or what we produce. You could see it as the wellspring, maybe, from which sustainable, meaningful doing can actually flow. It stops the well from running dry.
That makes sense. A vital counterbalance to that constant push. And this really brings everything full circle, doesn't it? It reminds us that mindfulness isn't just for the meditation cushion or the yoga studio. It's about weaving this awareness into the fabric of our lives. Mindfulness in everyday life, and facing challenges with steadiness. The sources you shared are full of these really simple, everyday examples, like walking to your car, actually feeling your feet hit the pavement, noticing the air.
Instead of being lost in thought about the meeting you just left or the one you're going to.
Exactly. Or truly listening to a friend, giving them your full attention without mentally rehearsing your reply. Eating dinner, savoring the food, rather than just shoveling it in while watching TV.
Even just standing in line at the grocery store.
Right. Instead of getting frustrated and impatient, just noticing. What are the sounds around me? How does my body feel standing here? These ordinary moments become opportunities.
They really do. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, this commitment to bringing awareness into these daily informal moments, that's what truly transforms our experience of life over time. It genuinely makes the ordinary feel extraordinary sometimes. You start noticing details, textures, feelings that just fly under the radar when we're rushing. And importantly, it can profoundly deepen relationships. Because when you're truly present with someone, you're offering them a real gift, your full attention, your empathy.
That feels huge.
It is. And it's not just about making the good times better. Life, as we know, inevitably brings challenges, real difficulty.
Illness, loss, conflict, uncertainty.
All of it. Mindfulness won't magically make those things disappear. That's not the promise. But what it can do is profoundly change how we meet those challenges. It can provide this internal source of strength, of resilience, a kind of inner peace, even amidst the turbulence, because it allows us to observe the difficult thoughts, the painful emotions, without that extra layer of judgment. It creates that space to respond with more wisdom, maybe more compassion, rather than just reacting automatically to the pain.
Wow, okay. This deep dive into wherever you go, there you are. It really feels like a profound invitation, doesn't it?
It really does.
An invitation to just return. Return to the present moment, to observe life as it unfolds with clarity, and to try and embrace each experience, whatever its flavor may be, without adding that extra burden of judgment. It so powerfully reinforces that core message. Genuine peace isn't usually found by escaping where we are or constantly striving for some future goal.
No, it's about arriving fully, completely into the now. And what's really fascinating, I think, is how Kabat-Zinn consistently presents mindfulness not as a quick fix, not a destination you suddenly arrive at and you're done.
Right, it's a practice.
It's a lifelong practice, like tending a garden, perhaps. The effort you put in, even if it feels small each day, it compounds over time. It slowly, steadily reshapes how you see yourself, how you relate to your thoughts, your emotions, indeed, how you relate to the whole world. So instead of being constantly caught in that cycle of striving and wanting, you start to uncover this profound sense of peace in simply being. Instead of always chasing happiness somewhere else, somewhere in the future, you begin to realize that actually it's available right here, wherever you happen to be.
So what does all this mean for you listening right now? Maybe just take a moment. Right now, pause. Notice your breath, just the simple feeling of breathing in and breathing out. Notice where you are, the sounds around you, the feeling of your body. Just remember that simple truth. Wherever you go, there you are. And maybe, just maybe, in that simple fact, there's a profound sense of enough-ness. Consider how embracing just a few moments of this simple presence each day could begin to fundamentally reshape your experience of life, from the mundane to magnificent. Thank you so much for sharing your sources with us and for embarking on this deep dive.